Okay, let's talk about the UAP, and I want to ask because I'm curious talaga. Who's the best player in the UAP today? As of today. Or let's say if I were to break it down, dichotomy. Slice it down, ganyan, dichotomy. Sino ang pinaka-talented player sa UAP ngayon? Bakon?
For me, Ray.
Ray Parks. Can't argue with that. Why Ray?
For me kasi, complete package siya. Pag nakita mo yung stats na, kompleto talaga. Pag nanood ka nga sa MOA, pag tinitingnan mo sa taas yung umiikot, lahat ng stat department, nandun siya. Steals, blocks, assist, rebounds, saka points. Tapos when you see him naman, parang, tsaka yung dunk niya over Van Hofstall.
Grabe yun.
Tupi eh. Parang
Kung merong
tumago na lang eh.
Imagine mo, 6'7", Van Hofstall.
Laki-laki pa ng katawan, tumago.
I mean, kung merong big and tasty, yung dunk niya, big and nasty. Hashtag big and nasty. Lupit! Ang lupit ng dunk na yun. Okay, ikaw, Job.
I agree with Bakon. Still Ray Parks. Kasi lahat ng kailangan mong gawin sa kanya. Like, you need him to handle the ball, he can distribute, he can shoot from and he can score from anywhere on the field eh. So parang in terms of talent talaga, scoring inside and out, he also picks up the best player on the opposing team. So he's got it all. He's got all the talent that you would want in a basketball player sa UAP.
Charles, do you agree or disagree? Dalawang Ray Parks na.
I agree, but I think it's also close between Kiefer, Geronteng, and Ray. Ray has the edge over Kiefer because he's more athletic and he's a bit taller, longer. Like they all said, they said all the obvious reasons, but I believe Kiefer's just such a smart player. He has the skills. He has so many moves. Same thing with Jeron. He's a rookie, but you look at his body, the way he can get to the hoop, and he's making 3-point shots. Well, he did one game. He made 4 after shooting 12%, but those will improve. And
you had to mention the 12%.
I mean, I like Jeron. He's a friend, so he's also one of the most talented players. Close to Parks, but Parks still has the edge.
Pero statistically speaking, kasi ang layo eh. I mean, si Kiefer, one would imagine he can score 35 if he were on a different team and if
he didn't have Greg Slaughter.
If naglalaro siya in a different system, he could score 35. Jeron can score 35 today and can score 5 tomorrow. Diba? Ganun siya eh.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's still a gift. He's still a talented player. The fact that you can score 35, even if you can't do it on a regular basis, you're still an incredible player.
What impressed me about Parks was one game he was shooting terribly from the field, yet he still scored close to 20 points just because he found ways.
Because he's always aggressive and he will be fouled and he will go to the line.
He does a lot of things really. He's a good defender too, better than Kiefer right now, defensively especially.
Okay, let's go to the second part of our discussion. Kasi curious din ako. Iba kasi yung usapan na sino yung pinaka-talented. And I will agree, Ray Parks, by and large, is the most talented player in college basketball right now. I don't know if tatapat mo siya kay Calvin Abueva. That's another interesting debate. But, sa UAAP, sino yung pinaka-importante na player? Which does not necessarily mean na siya yung pinaka-talented. Sino para sa'yo?
Sa akin, Greg Slaughter.
I'm glad that you're not biased.
Hindi mo siya naging teammate.
Hindi ko naging teammate, pero Greg Slaughter.
Kasi, bakit si Greg?
For me, since naging teammate ko siya last year, feel ko, kahit kung wala si Greg last year, hindi naman sa hindi namin kaya, pero it's a very different story talaga. Feel ko hirap na hirap kami kapag wala si Greg.
So di kayo nahirapan last year?
Nahirapan naman. Pero kay Greg, pag wala si Greg, hirap yun. Pag ito si Greg, hirap lang.
Kasi yung hirap nila, one loss lang.
Hirap.
Mahirap pa rin, no? Mahirap mag-champion kahit na isa lang ang talo mo.
Pero, meron kang center na kasing laki ni Greg. It changes a lot eh. Kahit sa, hindi lang offensively, first offensively, you can throw the ball to Greg. The double team, kick out, makashoot si Kiefer, makashoot si Eman, makashoot si Kirk, si Nico, the drive. Tapos kapag defense naman, tumayo lang siya doon kahit minsan, kahit tinatamad siya, gumanon lang. Yung imbes na i-layup na kalaban, floater, magmi-miss. So for me, the most important player sa UAAP is Greg Slaughter.
I've always wondered because sometimes tinatamad din ako sa depensa. So tinataas ko lang yung kamay ko. I wonder why the effect is not the same.
Tinatalunan niya.
Oo, di ko alam. Pag kay Greg, diba, ganun lang, diba? Parang nagbabago. Sa akin, parang walakas pa yung loob nila eh. I don't know why. Sa'yo, Job, sino pinaka-importanting player sa UA?
I'd also say Greg Slaughter. You also have to look at the positional drop-off eh. If you take a look at other players, if you remove Geronteng, you also have other wingmen who could fill in that slot for LaSalle. or kahit mas distributed yung impact, siguro you'd have De La Paz to score your threes, you'd still have Vosotros off the bench. So the contribution from that position is that parang hindi masyadong nawala, 'di ba? Pero when you take away Greg, you lose all of that ability and you don't have the same offensive and defensive packages with the other big men of Ateneo. No offense to them, pero they're still parang they don't fill in that same need that Greg provides for all the reasons that Bacon already stated.
Ikaw, Charles.
I think it's a close call between Karim of UST and Greg. Honestly, if you look at Karim, he's the number 1 in the MVP race right now after the first half of the season. But you know, if you take him off that UST team, I don't think they're a Final Four team at all. And the same thing with Ateneo. If you take out Greg, I still believe they'll make it to the Final Four. I mean, JP Aram may not be as good as Greg, far from it, but he's still a good player. He was my teammate before, so hindi rin ako biased. But you know, I think he could do some good stuff, and we'll see more of that next year. But I'd still give the edge to Greg because he's what will bring Ateneo to the championship and what he has done already last year. Whereas Karim, you know, he's good, but I still don't think he will lead UST to the championship. And for me, that's the bottom line. If you talk about important player, you gotta win championships.
Congratulations, Charles. You just gave UST the best reason to make it all the way to the finals. They'll watch this episode, they'll edit it and put it on repeat and paparinig nila kay Karim. And congratulations. When they face Greg, Karim will probably score like 40 points and 20 rebounds because of you.
They did beat Ateneo. Okay lang, para interesting, no?
No. Yan ang sinasabi ko eh. Hindi tayo nakakatulong eh.
So may tinutulungan tayo dito?
Hindi naman.
Oo nga.
Saan ka nag-aral?
Ateneo.
Saan ka nag-aral?
Ateneo.
Saan ka nag-aral?
Savior School. Jeric Teng.
May college na ba ang Xavier ngayon?
Jeric Teng connection sa UST. Ano naman? Sige na, Karim na nga lang ako. Karim, most important player. Most valuable also. Ayan ha, Karim. Magagalit si Greg sa akin. Pero, okay lang.
Tama.
Oo, tama.
Si Greg.